Hello, hello. Hello, Mr. Sweeney, Miss Martin, Miss Julie, Mr. Chris. Good to see you guys. Happy Thursday, everybody. You're having a wonderful day. My week has been a little different. Doing a work from home week all week. And I think this is the longest time I've ever gone not going into the office. I am going in tomorrow. So it might look like I'm in my office, but that is a virtual background. I basically took a picture of my office and made it look like I am actually there. So I'm excited to kind of be back into the normal routine and pumped that you guys are with me here today. What we're going over is really how I was able to get to kind of my first 100 students at Gracie Pack. And I know a lot of schools that are able to kind of grow around up to that kind of triple digits if they have an amazing product and service through word of mouth. But I think that sometimes it happens by accident as opposed to just design, especially if you do have a really great product and service. And today is all about systemizing this to ensure that on a quarterly basis, bi-monthly basis, even monthly basis, that you have the proper systems in place to produce referral leads and referral students in your school. So just kind of curious in the chat, and maybe it's a guesstimate. I find most schools don't track this, which it's great if you're tracking your number of enrollments. The next level to that is tracking where those enrollments are coming from, right? Is it a referral? Is it a Facebook ad? Was it from a Partners in Education, open house that you did, or a booth? So on average, how many referrals do you guys think you're getting in a month? Let me know. Referral signups, how many are you getting in a month on average? We got two to three. Wow. Zimmerman, 10 to 15, some double digits. Love it. Two to three. Usually that's kind of what we see is around that 2 to 3 mark. And if you asked me, would I rather have a Facebook lead? Would I rather have a Google lead? Would I rather have a booth lead? Or would I rather have a referral lead? I'm going to take that referral lead every day of the week and twice on Sunday, right? So we want to make sure that we have a system in place to create more. And what I typically see is, maybe you go to a master class or a training, or you hear from another school owner about their referral program, and you put your focus on it, and then you take your focus off of it and focus on something else. And it's just because you haven't systemized it. And that's my kind of hope for you today, is to walk away with a plug and play system. And if you stay on till the end, for those of you that are live, I do have an implementation checklist. I'm a big fan of checklists. And I want to ensure that the time that we spend together is something that you can immediately implement. Okay. So let me go ahead, share the screen, and let's dive in. Boom, present. There we go. And let me just get my chat up. I don't have my normal setup in my office. I typically have 3 monitors, and I only have 2 here at home. So little bit different setup. Guys, thank you so much for spending your time with me. And there's a lot of people that do trainings. I'm doing a webinar every month. I do a masterclass for GrowPro clients. Maya does a bunch of trainings. There's other coaching and consulting companies that do a bunch of trainings. And what I just want to say is just make sure you're not a consistent person who hops on the Zoom trainings but doesn't do the work. And that's why I'm going to give you that implementation checklist at the end of this, so you guys can just kind of follow the system that we're going over. And we're going to dive into turning word of mouth into a predictable system, so you can utilize your best students to get you more best students. Man, we still got people popping in. I love it. So what we're going to cover today, why referral based growth is the best growth, how to build a simple referral program, the best types of incentives that we've found that really help to generate that word of mouth, how to internally market your referral program, and then the difference between a referral program and a referral contest. Okay, because those are two different things. And I believe you should be leveraging both of those throughout the year. We'll talk a little bit about automating and systemizing, leveraging social media, and then you'll get that referral revolution implementation checklist. Okay. As always, these are workshops where I want you to engage. I want you to have questions. Get in the chat. If I ask you a question, please participate. It makes it a lot more fun, and just make sure that we do the work. Okay. So why referrals? What we have found is that referral leads have just a higher likelihood to stay longer terms than colder leads. And when we can extend the life that a customer is with us, right, and we can increase their lifetime value, that ultimately helps us generate more revenue. And what we typically see with referrals is that your cost of acquisition is lower. So, cost of acquisition, CAC, is an important metric that you should be making sure you're keeping an eye on. And you can have your total cost of acquisition, where you basically put together how much money you've spent in all of your different marketing strategies, from print marketing to every door direct mailers. Maybe you sponsored the local PTA for the month, your Facebook ads, and you could take all of that money and then divide it by the number of students that you got, and that'll give you a cost of acquisition. But that is considering all of the different marketing strategies. When we look at referral enrollments, typically the cost of acquisition is a lot lower. And I'm going to give you some examples of what that looks like with some hard math a little bit later on. Okay. And people just trust recommendations, which ultimately makes the sale easier. And if you have a system for this, it can really help to give you students on autopilot. When I asked in the beginning, majority of you are getting anywhere between like 2 to 5. Some of you definitely, a little bit higher than that. Referrals every single month, which is amazing, because again, the cost to acquire those referral enrollments just usually isn't as high as the cost of like doing every door direct mailers or Facebook ads and Google ads. Okay. So the one thing that we do have to talk about is that the schools that win with referrals typically have an amazing product that they are delivering. And we have to make sure, and when I say product, I mean, what you are delivering on the mat, your classes, the customer service. And if you aren't getting referrals, this is a good question. This is kind of what I like to call a thinking time question. So I have a journal that's called my thinking time journal, and I will use that to answer questions like this, and ask myself, like, is what I am offering, are the services that I am offering, is it good enough? Can it be better? Where could it be 1% better, 5% better, 10% better? So you have to have an amazing product and service if you really want to win with referrals. And what I like to kind of think about is your favorite student. And I know we're not supposed to have favorites, but every single one of us have favorites. In the span of 30 years of teaching martial arts, my favorite student of all time, his name is Kai Prodigy Owen. We nicknamed him the Prodigy, and we all have a favorite student. So imagine if every single student was just like them. And typically, that's what referrals can help to do, is bring more of your best students, because like attracts like. Okay. But what I don't want you to do is wait for them. What I want you to do is to engineer them. Okay. And we're going to be talking about two separate things here. We're going to be talking about like your bread and butter referral program that you should be offering throughout the year. And then we're going to talk about a contest. So your program is offered year round and has a specific way to win a prize. And your contests are held during specific times throughout the year and offer more prizes and more ways to win. And I do believe you should be leveraging both. And there's 3 times throughout the year where hosting a referral contest should absolutely be on your calendar. Okay. So I believe there are a few things that make a great referral program work. And one of those things is that it has to be visual. And oftentimes, when I ask school owners, do you have a referral program? They say yes. But if I were to go into the lobby of where the parents are sitting and ask those parents, hey, can you tell me about the referral program here at the school? The majority of the parents would not know it. And it's typically because we're missing some visual elements that are so simple to implement and will cost you like maybe just a couple of dollars in printing to ensure that this is top of mind. People need to know that it exists, and people often need to be reminded more than they need to be taught. Just because you told them about, referral programs or VIP passes when they first signed up, do you know how much information we throw at new students in the beginning? Do you think they're going to remember that one little piece? Probably not, which is why we have to engineer these visualizations throughout our school so that they are constantly aware that we have this referral program. And there's 6 different ways that you can make your referral program visual. Okay. The first one is just going to be a referral program poster. Yes, Mr. Ben, would I put up a poster? It's exactly what I would do. And you know what? I didn't go to school for graphic design. Although, I think I'm pretty decent inside of Canva, I'm not this good. And this is why I lean on our partners over at Maya and the Maya Edge website, because they have professional graphic designers who create these. And I think oftentimes in our school, it's something as simple as like, okay, I get the concept. I know I need to make it visual, but I can't create something that looks beautiful that I would want to put up on my school. And this is when you would ask, well, who can do it for me? As opposed to, how can I do it? All right. Unless you have graphic design experience, more than likely you're not creating something that is going to be on brand and something that you would be proud of putting up in your school. And Maya Edge, it's incredibly affordable. And any type of graphic you could imagine you would want in your school, they have. And what's cool, it's a Canva template. And you just click on a button, it'll pull it into your own Canva, and then you can edit this. So all of the words that are on here are editable, the colors are editable, but you need to have a referral poster. And you can utilize, like online FedEx printing. They always have coupons. You can utilize something like Vistaprint, but you want to get a really large poster. And, I think there's certain kind of vibes and cultures and feelings that some of us want in our school. And, there is just taking the poster and putting some double-sided tape on it and put it up on the wall, or you could actually buy a poster cover and really put it up on the wall and make it almost look like a piece of art. Okay. And it just kind of elevates the feeling inside of the school. So you need to make it visual, and one of the easiest ways is a referral poster. Okay. The second way is through VIP passes, guest passes, buddy passes, whatever you want to call it. You need something tangible and physical that you can hand out to your students. Okay. I like the 4x4. So basically, it's these 4 small images on a sheet of paper, because this way you can get 4 passes out of 1 sheet of paper to lower your costs for the printing. And again, completely editable. And, guys, if you're not a part of Maya Edge, you could absolutely just create something from scratch, inside of Canva. But, there's certain areas in our business that it's good to have the ability to buy back our time. And kind of graphic design is one of those things that I would look at doing that. Okay. I mean, put up permanently, like in the gym. So your referral program, this is something that is just consistent. So it's something you would do every single month. The contests are going to be different. So yes, this is something that we have up that is like a permanent art fixture up on the wall. Okay. The next way to make your referral programs visual is in a new student handbook or a welcome packet. So when new students enroll at our school at Gracie Pack, we have this new student handbook. And excuse me if you can hear my dog in the background barking. He's 17 years old and a little senile. So we have this new student handbook, and inside of the new student handbook, we have just basically all of our policies, and inside there we have information about our referral program. So this is just another way that you can make it visual. Also, a new student checklist. And this was really born because I know we've all been in this scenario where maybe we explained something to a new student, like maybe you have like a freeze policy or a time back guarantee policy, and you tell them when they sign up, and then they, go to freeze and you remind them about it, and they say, "You never told me about that." Okay, we've all experienced that. Okay. And one of the benefits of having this new student checklist is having the ability of new families that come in, because there is a lot of information that we are, throwing at them, having them initial, and then you keep this. So if there's ever any, pushback, like, "Hey, you didn't talk to me about billing, or you didn't talk to me about those testing fees," you can pull out this new student checklist where they would initial, and you would also have their signature, and you could show them, well, actually, we did go over this. So one of the items on our new student checklist are our referral rewards and our guest passes. So you can have a specific section on that new student checklist that you go through it with them, you have them initial, and it just ensures that all of the really important items that you want to make sure that new families know about are occurring, because it can be a lot, right? So it's just another way to make this visual. The next way to make it visual is, I'm a huge fan of the prize wheel. You can get prize wheels on Amazon for like 40 bucks. They have more expensive ones, like commercial grade ones that you could buy for 200 or 300 bucks. We bought, I believe this is the exact one, $40. And one of the keys to this is ensuring that it is in a place where people can see it. And what often happens is you take your prize wheel and maybe you leave it in like your maintenance closet. And then when somebody refers somebody, you bring it out and then they spin it and then you put it back. Well, then it's really not visual. It's not in front of people all the time. So we specifically drilled this into the wall where our lobby and the mat is. So we do our mat chat right near the lobby, because mat chats aren't just for the kids, they're also for the parents. And then we drilled this prize wheel into the wall so it's always up there. And what I like about these, it's erasable. So if you ever want to swap out any of the prizes, you could do that. There's also prize wheels that have inserts, so you could print out on the insert and put it in if you wanted it, to maybe be printed as opposed to, dry erase marker. But making sure that this isn't something that is just hiding into a closet. And we're going to talk more about the prize wheel and the incentives here in a little bit. But this is just another way to showcase that your referral program is visual. And, you'll have parents that are like, "Oh, what is that?" And it's a great conversation starter. Miss Shelley says, "I was just rewriting our checklist." Awesome. But then I was about to ask if you have it wall mounted. Yes, we do. We have it wall mounted right into the wall in between the lobby and the main mat. Okay. And then another way to make it visual, and this is something that I came up with years ago, and it is called our ambassador program. So this is a big poster that we have printed that's up on the wall. It's called Gracie Pack Ambassadors, and it just asks, like, do you love Gracie Pack and do you want to help us out? If you check in on Facebook, if you leave a Google review, if you leave a Facebook recommendation, and you refer a friend, you will officially be a Gracie Pack ambassador. And what we did is we got these shirts printed with this logo at the top that says Gracie Pack Ambassador, and we put them in our pro shop. And what happens is parents come up, kids come up and say, "Oh, I want to buy that shirt." And it actually starts the conversation of, "Well, that shirt is actually free. Do you want me to tell you how you can get it for free?" And then we talk to them about our Gracie Pack ambassador. And as you can see, one of the criteria that they have to, do in order to become a Gracie Pack ambassador is to refer a friend. So it's just another kind of touch point visually that we can remind people that we have a referral program. Now, I didn't put it in this section because we're going to talk a little bit about it later in terms of automations, but automating email and text message nurture sequences, reminding people that you have referrals is another way to make it visual. So that's 7 different ways that you can make it visual. Do you have an example of the shirt itself? This is literally what's on the front of the shirt. It's a gray shirt, and up here where it says ambassador, that's the logo that we have. So it's that logo is right on the chest, and then on the back is just our actual Gracie Pack logo. So this is exactly what the shirt has on it. Okay. So I'd love to know, out of these kind of 6, and I gave you the bonus with the email and text message automation, what is one that you think that should just be a no-brainer for you implementing, right? It's like, oh, okay, I didn't think about having a new student checklist, so I should put that in there. Or, man, I really like the ambassador program idea. Maybe you have a poster. All right, beautiful, thank you. So Miss Cooper, poster. All right. Well, guys, what's cool is the poster is like super easy and very cost effective. Love the ambassador program, the checklist, the prize wheel, all of them. Cool. Well, we're just going to start with one. We want to pick one. The prize wheel is a really good idea. Love it. All right, guys. Thanks so much. So if you want to have a great referral program, then it needs to be visual. Okay. So next up, let's talk a little bit about this prize wheel, because there's a lot of you that were stating that you liked that idea. So this prize wheel was very specifically placed where the parent lobby is and where the kids are in the mat chats, because when we are highlighting a student that referred somebody else, we do this at the end of class when we do our mat chats. So we do our mat chats at the end of class. It's basically, announcements, upcoming events. We're highlighting, when is testing week. We're highlighting, what are they going to be doing in their next class? So we're future pacing them coming in. All of our upgrade nominations go on during the mat chat. And this is also where we highlight people that refer other new signups. So what we have found is cash is king. People like cash money. Now, if you are going to have cash on here, that means you need to make sure you have cash on hand. It's kind of lame for a kid to spin the wheel and it lands on $100 and you say, hey, I'll get you next time. So we keep an envelope. I think there's $100 bill and a $50 bill in there, and we keep that in our cash register underneath in an envelope that says referral cash. And then, if somebody gets the $100 or the $50 or whatever the denomination is, then the next day we're just going to replenish that. Okay. So don't be lame with it, guys, and say, yeah, I'll hit you up next time. All right. We want to make sure if they do land on the cash prize, that you can go to the cash register, pull out the $100 bill, and hand it to them right then and there. You can also do pro shop credits, $50, $75, $100, Amazon gift cards. You can print an Amazon gift card right off of the internet. It takes you maybe 3 minutes to get that done. You could do private lesson certificates. You could do certificates to special events like parent night out events or seminars. If you're crazy enough to do birthday parties, kidding, kind of, you could offer a free birthday party. So these are all different options. And what you'll notice, some of them have a hard cost to your wallet, like the cash, the pro shop credit, the Amazon gift card. And then, maybe if you're a smaller school or you don't have as much to invest, you have things like private lessons, the seminars, the pianos that don't necessarily have a hard cost to your wallet. Okay. So we absolutely love utilizing the prize wheel. We get all the, when we call the student up and then they spin the wheel, we have everybody beat the mat just to create a little bit of noise. You could have them chant, spin the wheel. And you just want to make it really exciting. And again, this is a part of making it visual and making it known. Okay. So that's how we do the prize wheel. I have a wheel. It's great, though it needs to be noticed more. Yeah. So just check the positioning of where the wheel is. Okay. So we had talked a little bit about CAC, cost of acquisition. And, I get it, guys. Like, talking about math isn't necessarily the most important or most fun thing to do, but it is one of the most important things to do. And I just want to kind of show the example about how oftentimes referral programs will bring in new students for less money than other marketing strategies. Now, I am not saying just because they have a lower cost of acquisition that that should be the only marketing strategy you should have. We should never just have one line out in the ocean. The schools that hurt the most during COVID were ones that had all of their eggs in one basket for a specific marketing strategy. And it was a lot of the schools that solely relied on word of mouth that really got hit hard during COVID. So let's say we got 3 students from referrals and you ended up spending $200 on prizes and $20 on printing like VIP passes. Well, that means you spent 220 bucks. If we take the $220 and divide it by those 3 students that we got from the referrals, that means it cost us $73 to get a new student. Let me ask you, would you be okay putting $73 in the slot machine if you knew a new student would come out of it? Well, if you have great retention, the answer is heck yes. If you know the average student lasts 11 months in your school, you would be very happy for putting $73 in and getting 11, months of that student being in your school. Now, let's use the example of I got 10 students from Facebook ads, but I spent $2,000, okay? Which we take the 2,000, we divide it by the 10 students. That means I have a $200 cost of acquisition, okay? Now, let's say that's exactly what you got. You got that $200 cost of acquisition, but you know your numbers. You're a great business person and you know your numbers, and your student value is, let's say, $190 per student, and the average student lasts, let's say, 10 months in your school. That's $1,900 that they would generate. Are you willing to put $200 in the slot machine to get $1,900 back? I think that that is a great investment. So what I'm not trying to say is that you shouldn't do Facebook ads just because there may be a higher cost of acquisition, because I'm okay with paying $200 for a new student. Now, if you have really high attrition and you're losing students consistently, maybe paying 200 bucks doesn't make sense for you. But I think for most people that are under a 5% attrition rate, so you're churning less than 5%, which is the industry average in the martial arts industry. And I want you to be better than average, that's for sure. But I would be okay with a $200 cost of acquisition. All right. So now that we understand CAC, can you guys let me know, like, yes or no, you understand what cost of acquisition is? All right, everybody understands. Awesome. How many campaigns should be running at one time? Well, if you're asking how many different marketing campaigns, I don't think there is in love with CAC. Love it. Thank you, Mr. Morales. There's not some black and white, answer to that. Like you should only have 3, you should only have 5, you should only have 10. It depends on average how many are, generating new enrollments for you. How many new students are you getting from Facebook? How many new students are you getting from your referral program? And what are your new student goals, right? There are people, in here that they would be really happy with 10 new students. I know there are certain people on this call that would, like they're aiming for 25 to 30 new students. So your goals are also going to play a role in how many marketing campaigns you should have. Okay. Where can I get a replay of this, Chris? I have to get going. The replay, Sensei Pedro, will be on the growpro.com website. Do you put expiration dates on guest passes? We're going to talk about the guest passes here in a second. Is there a specific offer which always performs the best with the ads? So that's kind of a completely different webinar here in terms of what offer you should be putting out in your Facebook ads. I'd be happy to kind of talk about that at the end, but I want to stay on track with the referral program. Do they only get to spin the wheel if the referral enrolls? Correct. Yes. So they would need to have a full enrollment if somebody came in and maybe purchased a 4-week trial for $49, we would not have them spin the wheel for that. They would need to enroll on a full program, and for us, that's our basic beginner program, which is a 12-month program. Great questions, guys. Okay, so we talked a little bit about making it visual in terms of VIP guest passes. And there are a few different times that you need to be handing these out. So you should absolutely be providing them at the sign up. You're going to go through that checklist. It's in your new student, handbook, and you want to make sure you give them to them. So one of the things that we did is we utilized Vistaprint and we printed folders, and it has our logo on there. They're completely branded. And one of the reasons why we did that is we wanted just something to put together different marketing strategies. And one of those are these guest passes. We'll also do like a coupon for a free parent night out event, or 25% off of a birthday party. So we had all of these pieces of paper that we wanted to give them, and we wanted it to feel just a little bit more elevated. So we printed out these folders on Vistaprint, super high quality, and that's where we're able to put all of these different marketing materials. So provide them at the sign up. Provide them if you're doing an upgrade conference. Provide them if you are doing a renewal conference. Like I said earlier, people often need to be reminded more than they need to be taught. I'm going to guess probably 90% of you already knew that you should have had a referral program and you should be doing some of these things, but you just need to be reminded. Okay. Also, want to provide them when you are hosting buddy weeks. And we'll get into buddy weeks here in a second. And you can just provide them just because. Reaching out, during a match chat, hey guys, we're giving out 10 VIP guest passes this month. Who do you want to invite? We keep a stack of these on the front desk. So when people come up to the front desk, again, it is visual. They can see it. And we are happy to pass out as many of these as possible. We do not put an expiration date on them. When we talk about the referral contest, then that's slightly different, which we'll get to in a second. But for our referral program that we're doing year round, we do not put expiration dates on these. Okay. So that's your VIP guest passes. And then we have the buddy weeks. The minimum, this is the bare minimum. You should be hosting these buddy weeks, one per quarter. I know plenty of schools that do them every single month. And what I don't want to hear is, Cris, I tried a buddy day, I tried a buddy week, it didn't work. Because there are thousands of martial arts school owners who have success with buddy days and buddy weeks. Okay. Now, at a minimum, one time per quarter. If you want to do it every other month, if you want to do it monthly, at a minimum, I want it quarterly. We host ours on B days. So we use the Maya ABC schedule. A day is curriculum day on Monday and Tuesday. B day is our program day on Wednesday and Thursday. And then C day is a specialty day on Friday and Saturday. And the reason why we host it on B days is because it doesn't interrupt our curriculum. And we don't want the focus of the buddy day to be on curriculum that is required for testing. We want it to be fun. We want to highlight partner drills. We want to highlight challenges. And buddy days are only going to be successful if you present it in a way that it's something different from their day-to-day class. So something as simple, during this, buddy week, we are going to be doing some partner challenges. So you can invite your friend from school and you're going to go up against them, see who could do the most push-ups, see who could do the most squats, see who has the most powerful kick or punch. It's all about presentation. It can't just be, we're just going to do a normal, regular class, okay? There has to be a reason why to get that buddy in, and we want to make our students excited about it because they're the ones that are going to be presenting it to their friends and families, okay? I would recommend having a physical invite. You can absolutely have digital invites, QR codes. Do you do these in the basic class only? No, you could do them in all of your classes. So you can do them in basic, elite, masters. Obviously, if you're running it in a higher ranking class, you're going to want to shift what we're doing, right? So I'm not going to ask a buddy on their first day to do jump spinning sidekicks, right? You could have your student do the jump spinning sidekick and then just have the buddy do a regular sidekick. Okay. If you only limit it to your basic program, you're now really only able to leverage a smaller percentage of your student base to bring buddies in. Okay. The key to Buddy Week is ensuring that you have a special sign up incentive for them. And we have to remember this is with any lead follow up, not just referral lead follow up, that fortune is in the follow up. Okay. So, what often happens is the busyness of the day, because it's not just the buddies that are coming in, you have your students, you have new leads that are coming in as well. What I often see is that school owners will say, yeah, we got a ton of people that showed up, but nobody converted. And when I ask them what their follow up process was, it's a lot of crickets. Okay. So you need to have a special sign up incentive. We like utilizing our mass enrollment incentive, which typically, when we're doing a mass enrollment, it's $50 to get started, and then only 11 monthly payments of whatever our option D is, which is our monthly payment. Um, if you're not familiar with Maya and the ABCD pricing, probably none of that made sense. But what it means is they're getting a much better deal than if they just came in and enrolled. Okay, so you need to offer a special sign up incentive, and you've got to make sure that you are following up. I like the trifecta: call, text, and email. Okay, now we're going to shift the conversation a little bit to talk about referral contests. Okay, there are three really amazing times for you to host a referral contest. Okay. And what's great is that all three of these can happen 3 times a year. Okay. So you have your grand opening or an open house. Okay. So obviously, your grand opening is typically only happening once, or if you move locations, but you can also just call it an open house. You have your anniversary party, which every year you have an anniversary to celebrate your school, making it another year. And then your back to school bash. Okay. So these are three really, really great times to host a referral contest. So a referral contests are short, they're fun, and they're competitive. That is the recipe that's going to make a great referral contest. They're short, they're fun, and they are competitive. Okay. So what should we kind of consider? There needs to be a start and an end time. And I like kind of 30 days of length. Okay. Anything farther, the kind of excitement, anything longer, the excitement has a tendency to kind of, just fizzle out. When you are doing the referral contest, you want to make sure that within those 30 days, it is paired with a buddy week. Okay, so you want to make sure that we have that buddy week going on during the time of the referral contest. We also want to have a ticketing system, and I'm going to talk about that in the next slide. And the ticketing system is the way to really make this fun and competitive. And you're also going to want to have multiple levels of prizes. And the best way to host this is at the end of the referral contest, having an event to crown the winners based off of pulling the tickets from the ticketing systems. Okay. Is there a good time of year to do an open house? It's going to be dependent on a couple of things. So we always do our anniversary party, and I think what your anniversary date is and where that falls is going to play a role. Also, your back to school. Back to school for most people, if you're down south like me, it's going to be in the August, month. If you're maybe, up north more, it'll be in September. So you kind of have that like quarter 3 time period. So I would want to make sure that if I know I'm going to run one in quarter 3, and that's my back to school bash, that I'm not going to host the open house in that quarter 3 as well. So I would look at either hosting it, end of Q1, early Q2, and then depending on where your anniversary party is, hosting it in a different quarter. Okay. Now you could absolutely just Maybe your anniversary party is, in December, like your anniversary is in December. Wouldn't recommend hosting one in December. You should be doing your holiday event anyways. You could just say that your anniversary date is a different month. We've done that. I'll be honest with you and transparent with you, that we didn't host it in the exact month that was like our actual anniversary because of the timing of everything. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about this ticketing system. And I got to be honest with you. And when I first learned about this, I was like, this is cheesy. And it is. But kids love cheesy and kids love fun. And this is a lot of fun. So, what ultimately would happen is that you would have a poster during this referral contest, and we call it the ticket tornado. And you get to decide how many tickets they get for whatever the thing is that they did. There's no like perfect answer to this. So I gave some examples here. If you bring a friend to Buddy Week, you could get 5 tickets, 7 tickets, 10 tickets, however much. Okay. If you give us a Google review or a Facebook recommendation, you get X amount of tickets. If you share a post on social media, for maybe the open house or the anniversary party or the back to school bash, you get X amount of tickets. If the friend signs up for a trial, maybe you do like a 2 week for 29 trial, they get X amount of tickets. And then if the friend signs up for an actual program, they get to do the ticket tornado. And all it is you get, the roll of the raffle tickets, they hold one end, you hold the other end with the rest of the tickets, and you're going to put you got the spool, you're going to put it on your finger so it'll roll. And the kid is just going to start turning over and over and over again, rolling and rolling and rolling. And you're going to count to 10. And however many tickets they can collect around their body in 10 seconds is how many they get. And it's hilarious and it's fun and the kids love it. And what you ultimately end up doing is at the event is when you are going to raffle off the different prizes. Well, what prizes can you do? And what prize is the best? You could do pro shop items, you could do private lessons, you could do birthday parties, you could do parent night out events. That doesn't have a lot of cost to you. And then there are items that does have some cost. We've done Wii's, we've done Nintendo Switches, we've done a scooter, we've done bicycles, we've done an iPad, we've done TVs, and we've also gotten donated items from vendors. So when we do our big anniversary party, when we do our big back to school bash, we actually invite local vendors. We've had a hot sauce company, we've had Verizon, we've had Planet Fitness, we've had a massage therapy company, all different types of companies. And we let them set up these small booths and it allows them to get free marketing on whatever they're offering. And it also allows you to ask them, like, hey, if you want to have a booth, we just want you to donate an item. Right. So we had hot sauces donated. We had a couple of months for free. We had massages donated. Tijuana Flats just ended up kind of catering it for us. So that was like their donation. But you can get actual donated items from the vendors that you can raffle off as well. However, the most exciting for a kids program is the pie the coach in a face or pie the instructor in a face. And I will tell you, I have gotten pied many, many times. So many I couldn't even tell you because this is what the kids absolutely love. And the best part about it, it's only going to cost you a couple of bucks because you need a pin, like a tin pan, and you need some whipped cream. And that's all you need. And what we do to hype this up is we print this out. I made this in Canva. And we print this poster out. It's a big poster. And we have a picture of each one of the different coaches in here. And during the referral contest that's leading up to this big event, at the end of the class, we hype the kids up and we say, all right, guys, we've got our referral contest going on. These are all the different ways that you can earn tickets. If you win the pie the coach in the face, which coach do you want to pie? And the kids will raise their hands. I'm going to get you, Coach Cris. No, I'm going to go get Coach Nate. I'm going to get Coach Brandon. And what we do is we tell them after class, we want you to go over to the poster, go see Coach Anna and she's going to give you a marker, and we want you to put a tally under which coach you would want to pie in the face. And the kids after class, they go over there, they start putting tallies. And what this does is it strums up this insane amount of excitement, because now the next time the kids come in and I'm doing a mat chat, I could say, oh, man, you guys are really gunning after me. I have 30 tally marks and the next coach only has 15. What's up with that? Don't you want to get Coach Brandon? And as silly as this may sound, guys, this is the most popular prize. And what's so great about it is you can give out 4 of them, you can give out 6 of them. And what we do is every hour we will go ahead and raffle off a specific prize. So let's say your open house is from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. At 11 a.m., you would pick a couple of prizes, you go to the tickets, you pull out a ticket. Whoever has that ticket wins that specific prize. You can also sell tickets as well. All right. And we've actually made, I think the last one we did, we probably sold about $450 worth of tickets, which helps to pay for some of these other items. Okay. So, how does the kids deal with respecting you after getting pied in the face? I mean, I think this has a lot to do just with your own culture. It's I haven't had any issue at all. This is, do you preface them and pre-frame them like you're not trying to punch me in the face? You're not having them like, get a running start to smash it. It's not them throwing the pie. It's literally them just taking it and pushing it into your face. And we haven't had any issues with like respect or anything like that. Okay. Ben said almost got his nose broke. Well, probably should have prefaced the kids that shouldn't be slamming it in the face. It should be nice and easy. Okay. But it is super cost effective and the kids get super, super excited for it. So those are some of the prizes that you can do with the referral contest. Okay. Let me just pause right there because I know I just went over a lot with the referral contest, and just kind of want to reiterate that it needs to have this start and end period. I like 30 days. Want to make sure there's a buddy week. Want to make sure there's some form of ticketing system. Want to have different prizes, multiple layers of prizes. And you want to host an event to crown the winners. And at that event, you're also inviting all of your leads to come to the event. I could do a 2-hour session on just how to host that event. We're offering martial arts mini training classes, 20-minute classes in order to experience all of the other fun things. We usually get a dunk tank, we get a bounce house, we've done face painting, we have coloring stations. If they want to participate in all of those things, they've got to get a hand stamp. And the only way you get your hand stamp is if you go take a martial arts class. Because the goal of this open house back to school bash, yes, it's great for retention, but we want to sign up new students. And we have an incentive for anybody that goes to this event where they can sign up new students. But it's the referral contest is a part of this concept of doing an anniversary party or a back to school bash or an open house. Okay. My concern with open house type events is the size of our school, relatively small. Yeah, so what I would do is I would just have people, sign up, specifically your own students. People sign up for specific time periods. So you could say, all right, this group you're coming at 10, this group you're coming at 11, this group you're coming at 12. And what I would do then for the prizes is we've done Facebook Live, and we said, because one of the smart things to do is kind of those, you could have the pie your instructor every hour, but those bigger prizes like the Wii's and the iPads, if you do it like straight off in the beginning, people aren't going to purchase tickets because the larger prizes already go. So we just do a Facebook Live at the end for some of those bigger prizes, and we just say that if you're not here, we go Facebook Live. If you're not here, you have 72 hours to claim it. If not, we're going to pull another ticket. All right. So that's kind of a way that you can get around it. We definitely, like Miss Shelley has said, parent volunteers to help. But in terms of, just the room itself, maybe not having a lot of square footage, you could just have specific time periods that you invite certain people to come to. Okay. That's kind of how we do like our holiday event where people have to sign up for actual appointment times to ensure that we don't have, 400 people in the building at one time. Okay. All right. The last thing we're going to touch on is automations. Okay. And we talked a little bit about this. How long are the hours event? We typically do 4 hours. Three is the kind of least I would go. Would be the longest that I've gone. And we typically do, we've done 9 to 1 and we've done 10 to 2, and they both work really, really well. Okay. And we'll typically host them on a Saturday and just cancel normal classes. So the other way to make it visual and to automate this, systemize it, right, is new student automation. So once somebody becomes a new student, there should be a drip sequence, an automated email and text message sequence that they are getting. And what I did is I just took my new student handbook and I kind of chopped it up because I know it's a lot of information. And then every week they're getting an email just about the school's policies and all of the value that we add. And in those emails, you can remind them that you have referral programs. Okay. And then you have long-term nurture sequences for students that have been with you, maybe in your elite program or black belt club program and master's club program. And again, you could set it up so maybe every 3 months, every 6 months, that they're getting an email and text message reminder like, hey, are there any friends that you've been thinking about inviting to class? We'd love to give you a VIP guest pass. Okay. And this is just one of those things that you set up once in your CRM. And once they get tagged a certain tag, it'll fire those emails and text messages for you. Okay. Last up is leveraging social proof. Okay. So if what we focus on expands. So in our marketing, if we are focusing on referral programs and we are highlighting, when people refer, when students refer other families, and we put that out there, it's going to get more awareness on your referral program. So next time you have somebody spin the wheel, take a picture, post it organically on your social media. Okay. If I know there's a lot of schools that do my first day pictures, they get that kind of like big poster printout that looks like a picture frame, and they take a picture of the student and then post it welcoming them. And if it's a referral, then you could tag the family that referred that family. You could also do like a Facebook and Instagram story challenge where you tell your students, and obviously this would be their parents and your adults students, if they post a video saying why they love training at your school and tag them, they could win a prize. So that could be one of the tickets when we talked about the ticketing system. That could be one of the ways to earn a ticket during a referral contest is you ask people to just post a quick video about what they love. Then you get to reshare it. That goes out to everybody that follows them, and you could give them a certain amount of tickets. So there's ways that we could leverage social proof and social media as well. Okay, so when you make referrals part of your culture, your school grows effortlessly. And the best schools in the world don't hope for referrals, they design them. Okay. So, what I wanted to give you guys is this referral revolution implementation checklist. And what it looks like, I'm going to drop this in the comments here for you. Where's my chat? Boom. If you click on that, it's going to pull this up. And you can actually edit this if you wanted to edit it. But if you click edit template, it's going to pull it into your own Canva so you can download it. But it's got the step by step of everything that we went over. So step one, how you set it up, how you run your buddy weeks, how to launch the referral contest, how to automate, how to make the referrals social and fun. Okay, so now you literally have everything that we just went over in bullet pointed fashion, step by step for you to implement. Okay, one of the best learning lessons that I had was when one of my coaches and consultants, I swear to God, my dogs never bark. Can you guys hear my dogs barking? Or am I the only one that's going crazy because they are barking? You can't. Okay. Well, that's good. Well, that's good. Our pool people showed up, which the dogs went crazy. Somebody's dropping off flowers right now. Dogs going crazy. So, anyway, sorry. One of the best lessons that I ever learned was looking at my calendar every single month in my martial arts school and asking myself, do we have a recruiting event set up? Do we have a retention event set up? And do we have some way to generate extra revenue? The three R's: recruit, retain, and revenue. And when you look at your calendar and you're like, okay, well, we're doing a parent night out event. Well, parent night out event, that could be retention. If you charge for it, which I hope you do, that could be revenue, but that shouldn't count for both, right? So when I say recruiting event, that could be we're hosting an open house. That could be this, we're doing our buddy week this month. That could be we are doing a PE teacher for the day. What it needs to be is a proactive outreach. What it shouldn't be is, oh, RoPro's running my Facebook ads, check box for recruiting. That is not an event. Okay. It needs to be an event. So do you have a recruiting event? And then you got to ask, do I have a retention event? And that could be a parent night out event. That could be a member appreciation event, a way to build those relationships. Okay. And then do I have a revenue event? Maybe you're hosting a tournament. Maybe you're going to do a challenge seminar. Maybe you're going to do, a spring cleaning of all of the pro shop items, and you'll do a spring clearance. That's a revenue event. And when you kind of shift your mindset to ensuring that you have recruiting, you have retention, and you have revenue, a lot more kind of this like vortex of momentum starts to build in your martial arts school. So when you're planning, and we plan in December for the entire year. But if you've never done that, at a minimum, you should be planning for the quarter. And when you are doing this, you need to ask yourself, when are our buddy weeks? Is this going to be a quarter where we're hosting an open house, or is it back to school time, or is it an anniversary party? Okay. And simple things like just having the poster up on the wall, putting those VIP passes in the welcome packets, having that new student checklist. That if you make that just a part of your everyday process, then it has been systemized. Okay. Your mic is good at suppressing the dog. That's great. Okay. Are we supposed to do all three R events in 1 month? Yes, that should be the ultimate goal: a recruiting event, a retention event, and a revenue event. And there are schools out there that do multiple every month, especially if they have large kids and adult programs. They're going to do a recruiting event for the kids and the adults. They're going to do a retention event for the kids and the adults. But let's just start with one, and then eventually you can start stacking on. But the big takeaway when I learned that was there are recurring marketing strategies and variable marketing strategies. Like recurring marketing strategies are, yes, I'm putting money towards Google ads, I'm putting money towards, Facebook ads. Every year we sponsor the PTA. Those are things that just recur over and over again. And then you have your variable marketing strategies, and those are that kind of like proactive outreach. Like this quarter, we're going to do every door direct mailers. Okay. So that was, kind of a big aha moment for me of really creating that vortex of momentum inside of the school. Okay. We got 3 minutes left. Any other questions? Let me drop this link in there. I am not giving this to people that weren't live, so I appreciate those of you that are on live, all 52 of you, for staying on, and you have that checklist. Any idea on cost of acquisition for direct mail? So the way that you're going to want to track this is your cost of your direct mail offer needs to be different than any other offer that you have out there. So let's say you normally do like 4 weeks for 49. Your direct mail offer, I would make it something completely different, whether that's 2 weeks for 29 or 2 weeks free, somewhere where they are not going to be able to see that offer anywhere else. So that if somebody says, oh, I saw your 2 week for 29 offer, and that isn't anywhere but the direct mail, then it came from there. All right. So that's how I would handle that. I don't know, like, this is the cost of acquisition you should aim for, because it really depends on your lifetime value of your customers. If you spent $1,000 on direct mailers and it brought you one student, but that one student ultimately their lifetime value is 3,000, are you willing to pay 1,000 for 3,000? Now that would be a very high cost of acquisition. I really don't like seeing anything like over, I want to say like around $300 for a cost of acquisition. Because then if you could 10x, if the lifetime value is $3,000, you're 10xing that initial investment. That's a really great investment. Okay. Um, all right. I've been listening while driving. So glad I did. Great to hear. Great job. Appreciate the link. Okay. Favorite takeaway: people need to be reminded more than they need to be taught. Yes, I learned that from one of my coaches, Dan Martell. Always give credit where credit is due. What's the best offer for Facebook ads? Like any golden offer, which mostly works. Guys, those of you that are running Facebook ads, what is your offer? Drop it in the chat. And I'm doing this on purpose just to prove a point. So please, if you're running Facebook ads, what is your offer? Drop it in. 30 days for 25, one free class, 4 weeks for 49, free trial class, one class, 4 weeks for 49, 69.99, 4 weeks. Okay. Do you guys get the point that they're all different? Okay. And what I will say is there are seasonal offers that have a tendency to work better during specific times. For example, December. Okay. December is not the month that I would recommend doing like 2 free weeks or a free class or a free week, because everybody is going out of their mind preparing for Christmas. And it's like the last thing in the back of their head is bringing their kid in for 2 weeks free during the Christmas, just kind of chaos. So a paid trial offer is going to work better during Christmas, because it's like, oh, I could buy that 4 weeks for 49 and like I could get started later. Okay. Then you have things like summer trial special, which I'm a big fan of, anywhere from like 99 to 149 for an 8-week trial special. Then you have things like train for the rest of the year, which we like to push in October. Okay. So there is seasonality with offers, but what I would recommend is testing them and figuring out which one works best for you, because you saw almost every single person had a different answer. There was some consistency with the one free trial class. But what will happen sometimes is if you don't have great confirmation sequences and automations and you don't have great follow up, you're going to get ghosted often on a free trial class. Right? Now, if you do have, great follow-ups, confirmations, you have a welcome tour video in there, you're sending, testimonials in those automations, you'll have a higher likelihood of them showing up. Okay. And I appreciate everybody dropping that in. Okay. That's why I use GrowPro's follow-up. Yes, sir. Appreciate that. One of our cap clients. How many weeks to test? I would do 4 to 8. And it also depends on your ad budget, right? If you're telling me like, oh, I'm spending $300, that's, $300 a month. That's not enough really to gain enough data. And guys, you really should be spending about $25 a day. I hate to say that, but everything is more expensive. Although eggs seem to be dropping down a little bit. My aunt showed up yesterday with our cousin has a bunch of chickens, and it was like just the coolest thing ever. We got like, I don't know, like 48 eggs for free, which was pretty cool. So all right, guys, any other questions? I appreciate you hanging out with me. Hopefully you have some takeaways, you have the implementation checklist. Don't be a consistent person without results. You got to go do the work. All right, awesome. All right, guys, make it a great day. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.